This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Sea to Summit Mesh Shack, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So as you can see, we have two different sizes of the Mesh Shack here. We have the extra small here on the left with the blue top, and then we have the small here with the, they say red, but actually looks orange. So just to, before we dive into the different sizes, to go over one of these real quick, we'll look at the small first. We've got a 150D mesh. I'm not sure exactly what the material is as it's not listed, but it kind of feels like a nylon or maybe a polyester. It's very durable, has a tiny bit of give, but not, by any means you're not going to be able to stretch it out. But durable, and the stitching seems good on it. No loose threads or anything like that I've been able to notice. And then you've got the stitching around the bottom too. Everything looks good to me. And then on the top, you have a 70D nylon. They call it a draw cord sleeve. So this sleeve runs around the top, so the draw cord can have somewhere like, because if it was just the mesh, sometimes that can kind of get bunched up. So you've got this nice nylon to house that draw cord sleeve. And it's not a super thick material, so you can still kind of get in there, but unless you have something really small in there, like a marble or something like that, it's not gonna, whatever you put in there is not going to come out. And then on the bottom, we have a pull handle. So once you have it stuffed all the way full, you can either grab it by this top here, or you could also grab it by this pull handle here. I like having both of these because depending on what if you're carrying it, obviously you would probably want to use this, or if you're stowing it on something like a hook, you could probably use that or this. But you could also use a carabiner or something like that. Or if you're worried about stuff coming out of the top, you could, and there wasn't a ton of stuff in here yet, you could kind of go both ways like that. So having both is a nice option, and both these materials feel more than durable enough for whatever you might have in here. I mean, you could put rocks in here and maybe that would change my mind, but I can't imagine that you would put rocks in here. And if you do, let us know and tell us how that went. But to go back to the size, which I mentioned earlier, we have the, as I said, the extra small, and then we have the small size here. They're extra small size here. This is 2.5 liters. So this is the smallest one that they have, and it has this nice royal blue top, which I think looks very nice. And then there is an extra small, which is 4 liters, and that comes in olive green. And then this is the small, which says online that it has a red top, but it has this orange color here. It's kind of like a fire burnt orange, and it has the same color on online. Like when you look at the image, it has this color. So I think it's just a differentiating of how you classify orange. But this is 6.5 liters, the small size. Then there's a medium, which it has the same royal blue color, but is 9 liters. And then you have the large size, which is again olive green at 15 liters. An XL at 20 liters with the red, which I assume again is orange on the top, and then an XXL, which is 30 liters, and that again is royal blue. So I like that there are a few different colors to choose from, because if you bring a few of them, and if you were to say have the small and the medium, or the extra small and the small, they're going to be pretty close in size. Like if you're just taking a look, you might not know which is which, and you might not know what you put in what. Like if you have clean clothes in one and dirty clothes in the other, you won't know which is which. But because of the different colors on the top, you can tell. So obviously there are some repeat colors, like the medium and the extra small have the same color. And there's a few other ones that have the same color too. But you probably will be able to tell the difference between an extra small and a medium. But the small to the medium or the small to the extra small, you might not be able to tell. So the differentiation of colors there is pretty nice if you ask me. But to be honest, I mean, you really can use these things for anything, and they really emphasize that on their site. But the most useful thing that I use them for is laundry. Like dirty laundry or transporting dirty laundry, especially while you're traveling. Like most of your dirty clothes, like if you need to go to the laundromat, are gonna fit in one that's about this size. And this is the small. If you bring a lot of clothes or you wanna wait longer between laundry, you might need to move up to the medium or the large or something like that. But you really can fit a good amount of gear in here. And to kind of showcase that, I have two packing cubes here. We have a larger packing cube here and then a smaller, maybe a medium packing cube here. So let's say you go on a weekend trip or something like that and you brought these 2 packing cubes, you put your clothes in here and socks and underwear in here on a weekend trip or a little bit longer than that. So if you were to wear all the clothes in here and all of the clothes in here, all of the clothes that were inside of here would fit in these 2 respectively. And I can show you that because the packing cube fits inside and closes. So unless your clothes magically got bigger, everything is going to fit inside this pack. So if you wore all your clothes and you need to go do laundry, you can stuff all the dirty clothes inside this, go to the laundromat, and then put them back in here or do whatever you need to do with them. And the same thing applies to the smaller one here. So if you had your socks and underwear, whatever else, smaller garments, masks, whatever, and you wore them all, they needed to be cleaned, you could just throw them in here. So, and these really are quite small when there's nothing in them, like that would fit in your pocket. You could even pull this and kind of wrap it around and tie it if you wanted to, make sure you can see that on the camera there. Kind of wrap it around and then loop it underneath. So that way it stays coiled there. And so that way it doesn't take up much space when you're not using it. And then when you need it, when you get to your hotel or Airbnb, you can just undo it and then hang it from one of the hangers, whether that be probably the top to hang it, and then put your clothes in there as they get dirty and then take it to the laundromat wherever you need to go. Something else that you can use these sacks for is if you're going somewhere where you're going to be getting wet, or like you're hiking or something like that and your shoes get wet, or like maybe your clothes, your socks get wet and you don't want to put them inside your pack, you can put the wet gear inside of these, and then using the cinch cord, you can tie them or loop them onto the outside of your pack. So that way they're hanging on the outside and not getting everything on the inside wet. And because it's mesh, it's not a waterproof material or anything like that. It's going to dry quicker than if it was inside a garbage bag or even like a material like this, because this breathes better than this does because it has the holes. So that's another use for these. And like I said before, you really can put anything inside of these. Like you could even put, like some electronics in here if you wanted to, and cinch it up and then put it inside your bag so they're separated from everything else inside your bag. Or if you're got like a big piece of rolling luggage that you're going to send through as a checked bag, you could put some things in here that you want to grab right when you get to the airport, when you get to the next airport. Sorry about that. So that way you just unzip it, grab this out, and you're ready to go with whatever you need in here. So they do have a lot of uses, and they're durable, and you can tell them apart. So very useful for a lot of different things. It just depends where you're going and what you're doing. But there you have it, the Sea to Summit Mesh Sack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.